As Santa Anita Park gets set to go back to a conventional dirt surface, I am joined by the man in charge, Ted Malloy, track consultant for Magna. Now, Ted, what is going to be the biggest challenge in transitioning back to a conventional dirt surface here at Santa Anita?
Well, the biggest challenge is finding the right mix. Whenever we build a track anywhere, our main concern is that horse and rider are safe. Speed we really don't care about. And at this point now, we've, in addition to myself, we have two pretty good experts. We have Mike Depew, who is a soils expert, and he's going to stay with us here at Santa Anita until we come up with the proper mixture. When we have the proper mixture, we'll send it to Dr. Peterson, the University of Maine, and he will do certain tests on it, shear tests, and he will confirm that we can put this in place. We're going to put 9 inches on top of an 8-inch base, that we can harrow the cushion out of it, and we can make it compacted enough that it's going to sustain the weight of a horse going 40 miles an hour.
Is the weather the biggest challenge as far as putting in a track here at Santa Anita, dealing with the difference of climates from season to season?
That's the biggest challenge anywhere. I learned very early in my career that you have two kind of tracks. You have a track that's very good when it rains and so-so when it's dry, or a track that's so-so when it's wet and very good when it's dry. So, I always determined that I would rather have the good track when it's dry because, let's face it, most of the time in this climate and in other climates, the rain is, only a few number of days out of the season. Is weather a concern? Absolutely, because, today, these kids riding are quick to say, we don't want to go. They feel it's dangerous, even though it may not be.
As we stand here right now, we're still standing on a synthetic surface. When will we see the transition, and what is the timetable as far as getting everything complete to pulling up the synthetic track, to putting down the dirt surface, to seeing horses training over this surface?
Okay, we're going to start taking up this surface on the 11th of October. By the 1st of December, we're shooting to have everything in place where I can start watering and harrowing like horses are using it, and then put horses on it the following Monday, which would be probably the 6th or the 7th. That's our goal. The only snag would be, the top material has to be blended. I'm sure before, too long, we'll have the proper blend that we want to use, and then to find someone who is at least semi-locally, to blend it for us, because we've looked at materials from 120 miles away, and if we have to buy that, the shipping is ungodly. We're looking at $100 a yard, and we need about 21,000 yards. So we've been able to find some materials that are local. The clay we may have to buy from, a source that's a little further away, but I think it's doable. I think we're going to have a good track, and I don't have any doubt that I think the horsemen are going to like it.
Will the drainage system differ from what we're standing on right now?
Okay, see. Dirt tracks don't drain down through. We're going to put 9 inches compacted of a mixture of sand and clay on top of this track, and if the water goes through it, you know what happens when clay gets wet. So you have 9 inches of mud. So where this track drained down through and the drainage system underneath carried it away, most of the water will be sheeted to the inside and the rest will be evaporated.
Certainly there was a lot of memories made here at Santa Anita over the dirt surface that was installed prior to this synthetic tracks. For those visitors to Santa Anita and for those that will be watching at home, what will be the differences between the old dirt track to now what will be the new dirt track here?
I think the difference will be the blend. The old track had quite a bit amount of clay. When you rolled it and floated it to get ready for rain, it really got like concrete. That's not the way to go. I think our mixture is going to be different. They ripped and tilled, once a week or once a night for a long time, and then roll it back down with a water truck. That's not necessary, and it's very difficult to get a consistent surface, when you do that. Now, if you want a track to be safe, it should be fast. I don't mean ultra fast, but it should be fast and it should be consistent so that, when a horse plants his foot, he's confident enough that the next footstep is going to be the same as the one he just left. That was the beauty, or supposed to be the beauty, of synthetic tracks. Um, I think they're just a little ahead of their time. Um, what can I say? This track was pretty safe. It's one of those things.
I know that the horsemen have worked closely with you and lent their opinions on the surfaces and the installation of a new dirt surface. What are some of the things that you've heard on both sides of the table as far as the installation and selecting this new racetrack that will come in here at Santa Anita?
Okay, their concern really was just how consistent it's going to be. We talked about putting in what they call a two-layer track, which has a concrete base, much like I'm going to say Fairgrounds or Laurel Park, um, or even Saratoga has a hard clay base, and they have 4 inches of fluff on top of it. I have a problem with that in that when it is wet and it's sloppy, horses go right through it. They hit that hard bottom. It's not slick, don't get me wrong, it's not slick, but they do hit a hard bottom. Now, with the single layer track like we're talking about putting here, we have a lot of options. If we have to, we can change the mixture. If we really have to, we can strip the cushion off it and make the bottom hard. I'm just in my heart that I feel it's safer. Horsemen for quite a while were quite adamant about the two-layer track where, much like the fairgrounds. But I think we've struck a happy medium where we're going to put this in. We'll have 3 weeks to test it. We can change the top without changing the whole bottom. So there are a lot of things we can do to make it to where 51% of the horsemen like it.